You wake up at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, and you blame the age. But what if the problem was set hours before, not by your body, but by a choice you make at 5? That single choice sends a signal that echoes through your whole night, and it's easy to miss. Most advice you hear focuses on what to do at night, the dim lights, the warm bath, the quiet hour, but the real shift doesn't start at bedtime. It starts much earlier, around 5 in the evening. That's the hour where a small, almost invisible habit may be working against you, keeping your nervous system alert long past when you want it to settle. Most advice you hear focuses on what to do at night, the dim lights, the warm bath, the quiet hour. But the real shift doesn't start at bedtime. It starts much earlier, around 5 in the evening. That's the hour where a small, almost invisible habit may be working against you, keeping your nervous system alert long past when you want it to settle. This may surprise you, but the change isn't about adding another nighttime ritual. It's about removing one simple thing, something you probably do without thinking, and letting your body remember how to drift off on its own. There's a gentler way, and it begins before the sun goes down. And the thing to remove is this, the habit of still carrying the day, mentally, at 5 o'clock. You see, after 70, the mind doesn't stop working just because the body slows down. It keeps replaying unfinished concerns, that conversation with your daughter, a bill you didn't expect, an old regret that surfaces without warning. That internal chatter isn't harmless. It's a signal to your nervous system that the day isn't over yet, that there's still something to solve, still something to hold. Consider a woman who spends her 5 o'clock hour reviewing every word she said and every task she didn't finish. By bedtime, her brain is still trying to close the day she never let go of. She wonders why sleep won't come, not realizing her mind was never given permission to rest. The shift begins right there, in that hour, by deciding the day is done, not solved, not perfect, done, and giving yourself that release. So instead of waiting for bedtime to force relaxation, what if you built a tiny ritual at 5 o'clock that does the closing for you? A man I know keeps a small notebook by his armchair. Every evening, he writes one sentence about something he accomplished that day. Maybe it was watering the plants. Maybe it was calling his sister. Nothing grand. Then he closes the notebook, sets it down, and says to himself, "That's enough for today." That simple phrase becomes a boundary. It tells his mind the day has a finish line. He's not ignoring what's left undone. He's choosing to hold it tomorrow instead of tonight. The book stays shut, and so does the chapter. You could do this. 3 things done for today, written down as a release, not a list, but a gift you give yourself, a small act of saying, "I did what I could," and that counts. And here's the deeper truth beneath that practice for so many of you. Stopping feels like failing. You spend a lifetime being the one everyone could lean on, the caregiver, the provider, the one who made sure things got done. So when 5 o'clock comes and you set it all down, a voice whispers, you're neglecting them. You're falling short. But listen, putting the day down is not neglect, it's wisdom. I knew a grandfather who felt guilty every evening for not calling each of his children. The guilt kept him restless, circling. Then he learned to write a short list, 3 calls, one small task, and let the rest go. That shift didn't shrink his love, it gave him back his peace. And with that peace came more genuine energy the next morning. You're allowed to be enough, not everything. And here's the beautiful part, when you stop carrying into the evening, sleep changes. Not just longer, deeper, more restful. Think of sleep like a calm lake. If you keep dropping pebbles of worry all evening, the surface never settles. But when the tossing stops, the water stills. I remember a woman who started a simple 5 o'clock pause. She'd sit by her window for just 3 minutes and name one beautiful thing she saw: a neighbor's rose, sunlight on the fence, a bird at the feeder. Nothing grand. Within 2 weeks, she told me she was sleeping more soundly, not because of anything she added, but because she finally let the day settle before laying her head down. The mind, like that lake, finds its peace on its own if you stop disturbing it. That quiet becomes the doorway to your deepest rest, and something else begins to stir. And something else begins to stir when you give yourself permission to stop performing. Think about that 5 o'clock hour. For decades, it meant tying up loose ends, answering one more call, planning tomorrow's battles. But at this season of life, that hour can become something entirely different, sacred. Not for solving problems, just for being. There's a quiet privilege in slowing down that we never allowed ourselves before. And this rest isn't laziness, it's a form of courage to admit you don't have to carry the weight of production anymore. You know a couple who now sits together at 5, tea in hand, And they don't talk about chores or schedules. They talk about a memory or hope. They say it's their favorite hour. And they both sleep better because of it. Because they let the evening be a season for presence, not performance. So the real gift isn't in what you add to your evening, it's in what you set down. The one thing to stop doing at 5 o'clock is holding the day hostage in your mind. Replaying, reworking, rewriting what already happened. When you consciously release it, you give yourself something no one else can, a peaceful night. You have carried so much in your life, you can set down today's load and let sleep be your gentle friend again, not a stranger. Not a struggle. A friend who's been waiting for you to trust it. If this brought you a little peace, subscribe, there is more on the way. Because you still have so many good nights ahead and you deserve every one of them.